Hey guys, so how to build a successful bookkeeping business? Now, this is a question I get asked probably about 10, 15 times a week from people either on my Facebook, my LinkedIn, and sometimes even inside the comments on YouTube, right? So I want to kind of dispel the myths that are like around how to build a bookkeeping business, because if you can really understand some of these different principles, it's going to cause you to grow your accounting or bookkeeping business a lot faster. So number one, okay, one of the most important things is when you're trying to start and build a successful bookkeeping business, it's not always about marketing in the start. Now, the reason why, and I know that sounds crazy, right? Like I was on a call with someone who was joining my mentorship program yesterday, and I was like, okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna like really focus on this. And he said, wait, but what about the marketing? How do I get the client? It's like, number one, you have to know which services are going to be good for stability versus security. Okay, now a lot of people don't really understand so let's say that we are trying to catch fish, right? Certain types of bait is going to cause a fish to jump in like a lot faster. So let's say that we're going after sharks in the water. I'm hunting sharks for whatever reason, right? Do you think that a shark is going to be more likely to go after a worm, go after a hook with no food on it, go after like a tasty fish, right? 3 different types of bait, right? But is it really about like the hook that the fishing reel that we're using? Not really, because if you use a worm, they probably won't even like register that because it's too small. If you use an empty hook, they're just like, this is just a trap, right? So they're not going to go into it. Versus you use like a tasty fish, now they're like, okay, I don't even care what's on the other side of this thing. Let's go, right? So it's really the same thing when you're thinking about doing your marketing and doing your sales, right? So first you have to know, like, what are you actually offering to these people that's going to allow you to be able to get them to want to work with you, right? Because again, if you use a better bait, you're going to get much easier conversions and much easier people signing up for you without having to objection handle. Like, you guys would be so surprised. Like, let's say that you guys like are going after clients for like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, and you're like, on the sales call, how do I objection handle? How do I convince people to work with me? It's like, if you just put something in front of them that they actually want, there is no convincing. There is no objection handling. That's the least of our concerns, right? So number one, when it comes to stability versus security, okay? So I like to think of the monthly services for stability, for stability, and the cleanups for security. Now, Bryce, isn't stability and security the same way? Not necessarily. So in the case of cleanups, now, never neglect cleanups, okay? You can have a very, very, very large inflow of cash. Now, when I think of an inflow of cash, I'm just trying to get savings, right? So let's say in my business, I want to have savings. In the first year, if you don't have any savings, you're going to be always stressed out because you feel like, I have to go hunt here, I have to go hunt there. I'm not really moving, I'm not really making much progress. And you're always like 1 or 2 bad months away from maybe quitting, or your spouse talking you out of starting the business, or just getting frustrated and just saying, well, what's the point? Just done. Right? So the security of your business is going to be brought in through cleanup projects. Now, the good thing for us is that for a lot of clients that you have, the biggest value driver they're going to be looking for is a cleanup project. Now, if you're new to bookkeeping, you don't really know how to do that, like, we can teach you how to do cleanups inside of our mentorship program. But I wouldn't just shy away just because you're new, okay? In a lot of cases, cleanups can actually be easier in some cases than the monthly work, right? Because it's just a bunch of months put together. And once you really get the understanding of like all different accounts and just different types of vendors they have, it just, you can get into like a role and just really find a rhythm that works really quickly. So I actually like cleanups in terms of like actually doing the work. Now, that's number one. Now, some people are like, okay, well, I don't like cleanups because sometimes I do the cleanup and like they just disappear and like they don't want to do monthly services with me. Okay, cool. That can be a problem. So like if your cleanups are like, under $2,000, $3,000, yes, you do want to go and get, you do want to get them to do the monthly services. We have like tips and tricks on how to do that as well, and we can teach that inside our mentorship program. But if you can get a big enough cleanup, it doesn't matter. So for example, one of our students, her name is Melissa, she actually got a $50,000 cleanup last night. And the reason why it's cool is because I don't really care if the person does like the monthly work. The person just paid $50,000. Okay, cool. Like if they want to pay me $50,000 and disappear forever after like the cleanup's done and not do the monthly work, I don't care, right? Because it's meaningful money. I have the security inside the business. So you do the cleanup, they can go. Now, when it comes to like smaller clients, of course you want the monthly work because that's going to be your stability, right? But there's trade-offs. Sometimes in business and just in life in general, like it's not always like black and white. There's a lot of gray areas when it comes to how do you want to design your business, how do you want to really go for it. So if I'm thinking of just strictly going for cleanups in the beginning, then I'm going to be going after cleanups like a lot of years that need to be cleaned up, anywhere between like 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years. Those are the best ones, right? Now, then I'm going to start transitioning towards looking for monthly services. Now, the cool thing online is that, you're going to have a really good mix of different business owners, right? And I found that like the bigger the business, the more they want the monthly work. The smaller the business, the more they like the cleanup. So just kind of depending on your skill and your, just the type of clients you want to go after, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to make some pretty good money, right? Now, if I'm going to go after like the monthly clients, my minimum price point is going to be about $500 per month. Now, I don't really like to go anything less than about $500 per month for a number of different reasons, but it's just really about like getting to 6 figures, right? So whatever is like the easiest way to get to 6 figures is kind of the configuration that I like to do, right? So, if you're getting like, and also like really $500 per month, I mean, that's still kind of low in my just kind of view. But like when you're starting out, anytime you get like $500 into your account, it's not really a bad thing. As you start getting more and more payments coming in, a $500 per month payment does become a little, not irritating, but it just doesn't move the needle forward inside your business account at all. So it's just like, what's the point in doing that? But definitely not $100. Like you can't really do anything with $100. Maybe go out to dinner with $100, right? But it's just like, it's just not worth it for your time, okay? That's how I would kind of think of it, right? Anything under about $500 just is not worth it. And like some people are like, well, I could have a small client, like if it's $300 a month and it only takes me 1 hour a month to do it, it's like, I just made $300 an hour. It's like, yeah, but that's not scalable. You're not gonna be doing $300 an hour for a bunch of like small clients like that. It's just not scalable, and it's just not really thinkable. Like if you think about like people that are more successful, they're always doing tasks that if they're trading their time for a task, the task is worth it for them. So someone was saying, because I do calls for our mentorship program, I open for people who like maybe they're working during the week and like they want to speak to see if the mentorship program is a good idea or a good fit for them. They do it on Saturdays, and someone was like, you would do an hour-long call with someone on a Sunday? It's Sunday. I was like, well, think about it. If I can spend 1 hour and then someone can pay me multiple thousands of dollars for that hour, that's worth it. That's definitely worth it. If it was like someone's gonna pay me like $100, I don't know if I don't want to do that. But if you have thousands of dollars on the table, and like even some people, like they're so wealthy that they won't do anything for less than $50,000 for a project or $100,000 for a project, right? So there's different levels to this, and I hope that you can get up to the level to where like you don't do anything less for at least $1,000 per engagement. Okay, so that's number one. Now, next thing too is like when you're thinking about your services, right? One thing that's going to cause you to be able to charge more money and to attract more clients more consistently is really understanding like what services actually bring money to the business owner. Now you might be saying, Bryce, what do you mean? Bookkeeping won't, inherently make you money. It's like, yes, to a certain degree, if you don't know what you're doing, okay? If you're just like, just keeping track of things, just giving a P&L balance sheet, maybe, okay, cool. Some financial statements, cool. But if you're actually helping them grow their business, or if you're helping them, like, let's say you're doing AR, let's say you're doing invoicing or bank draws, right? Or let's say that you're doing something along the lines of like maybe you monitor like their sales statistics, right? Or you're looking at their marketing ad spend, right? If you can really figure out a way where if every single time they talk to you, money hits their account, then you're gonna make more money. For example, one of my newer students in our mentorship program, he has a reputation in the construction space where every time he helps someone out, they make money. Like literally he does what's called bank draws. They're basically invoicing for the construction space, but they're very complicated invoices. They can oftentimes take 2 hours to 8 hours for like one invoice to be completed and like finalized and all the T's crossed and I's dotted. Now, every single time that you talk to this person, you get paid, you're gonna wanna talk to this person more times. And for each one of his clients, they only see him probably about, I think, four times a month, so about once per week. And the amount of money he can make off that is crazy, right? But again, it's just tied to money. What you really wanna do is like the golden ratio. So when I think of the golden ratio, I'm thinking of, for every $1 someone gives me, they need to get at least $10 out, right? That's kind of the ideal. If they can put in $1 and get like $30 back, $1 get $1,000, $100, $2,000, it's a done deal almost every time. Unless the business owner doesn't have any cash in their bank account, they're going to make that trade almost every single time. Now, the problems people have is, like, let's say that you do have a service where they give you $1 and they're going to get, like, let's say they're paying you $500 a month and they're going to get $5,000 a month worth of value from you. If they don't actually believe that you can do that, then the chances that they're actually going to pay you is a lot lower. So you have to be able to have the ability to do that, but also have the ability to show people that you can actually do it in a very persuasive manner. That's gonna be the key thing that I think a lot of people kind of like really struggle with. And then from there, marketing is very easy. So here's a trick. If you can get your pricing right, if you get your service stack right, you can get clients in the grocery store, okay? Now, my claim to fame is that I just help people get better structured services so that we can then pair them with a marketing style that works on your personality. So whether that's using LinkedIn, right? So for me, I used to love LinkedIn because I used to just like be able to just like come on, log on my computer, have an automation tool, go through and like find these different people that would potentially want to pay me $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $10,000 for a cleanup. And I just loved doing that. It was just like I was beating the system, right? And then some people, they love spending time on Facebook all day. They like looking at pictures all day while they're doing their messaging, while they're talking to business owner, they maybe make their posts. Some people like doing more of like in-person networking, right? There's nothing wrong with in-person networking. It's just the average person who's working a full-time job oftentimes cannot access these networking events. In a lot of cases, like the networking event is really based on like, you know, what room are you actually in, right? So it's very hit or miss. I've had some students get to 10 grand a month just from doing networking in like specific like groups. You're not just gonna go to like some like random BNI group in most cases and get like, you know, 10,000 a month. You can, but that's not the case for most people. You have to go to a very specialized event where the general public is not really knowing about them, right? And once you're able to do that, you can get inside of like these smaller groups where business owners who actually make money go, you make so much more money so much faster, right? We can again talk about that inside of our program, but yeah, I mean, dude, that's one thing as well. I mean, dude, I've even gotten clients in line at the grocery store where we were just sitting in line, like the line was taking forever. Started talking for a minute because I saw one with like the logos on her t-shirt. Then she ended up just wanting to work with me. She was it was a commercial cleaning company. I had one where I was visiting my grandmother at a senior citizen center shortly before she passed, and I was walking outside and the person who was like cleaning the building, she had this like really good sized cleaning business. I just started talking to her and she wanted to work with us as well. So it's like the marketing is really more about what can you do for 6 months to a year without getting frustrated, inconsistent, or just disappointed, right? Because if you can handle that, you don't have to worry about, like, dude, my LinkedIn account, I have some people that I friend requested like 5 years ago that are just now wanting to work with me. That means if I had gotten frustrated in month like 2 or month 3 and stopped using LinkedIn forever, I would have lost out on a huge amount of the traffic. Now the challenge that you do face is that if you're not using these social media platforms correctly, you could go 5 years with the same leads and like they never work with you, right? So it's really not about what platform you use. It's more about how do you use a platform and how do you really understand. It's really about learning how to see who could be a potentially great client based on looking at their company, them as a business owner, seeing how do they write and structure their profiles, how do they talk about their company, what is the language patterns they use, what is the size of the revenue, how many employees they have, do they have someone who's already in-house doing this? If you can like spot someone who can do that, and you have a service that has a very high likelihood that people actually want to pay for it, then that's going to make your social media process that much stronger. And then you just have to learn how to do a message script that's going to cause them to reveal they have a pain to you. So one thing that people struggle with when it comes to doing social media marketing is that they'll friend request someone and they'll go immediately, buy my stuff. Do you want to hop on a call with me? And it's like, that's not bad per se. It's just not going to be very effective. And the reason why is because half the people that are going to sign up with you are going to tell you no. And if they tell you no, but they feel like the only reason you talk to them is to make money, or they feel like they just feel embarrassed about saying no, they're not going to talk to you again. So let's say that for every, like, we'll say 1,000 people that you send that message to, you might get 1 to 3 people. So that means that you just like lost out on 997 other people. And that just makes it where you have to do so much more work on the front end in order to even like get a significant amount of clients. However, if instead you can learn how to get them to admit they have a problem first, right? So basically come to you say, hey, I've been struggling with my cash flow, or hey, my books are a mess, right? And if they come to you and tell you that, then when you just say, okay, cool, like I think I can help you out, let's book a call, right? You're not really pushing something on them. You're pulling the desire out of them, and you're not really burning the relationship with all the other people that are not quite ready to go. So then your job is to keep communicating and keep building a relationship until someone trusts you enough to say, I have this problem. Once you do that, hand on heart, that's all you need to do, okay? Now, if you've been trying to do this stuff and like maybe it's just not quite working the way that you'd hope, or maybe you're thinking about starting your business and it's just like, dude, this is just too complicated, man. I don't want to take 6 months to a year figuring this stuff out on my own. Go ahead and click the link inside the description either above or below the video. Book a call with myself to go see if our mentorship program could be a good fit for you, okay? I want to support you. I want to see if I can help you out, okay? I believe in you and I believe in your dreams, and I'm always here to help you out, okay? So when that time is right, book a call. Let's see if I can help you, and I'll see you on the other side, okay? Have a good one. Take it easy, and talk to you soon.